Hey guys, welcome to the Broker Collective podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Malone, president of HRO Resources and the Broker Collective. Looking forward to our conversation today. We have Jay Fribourg. He is the CRO and co-founder over at BlueZone Cyber. Jay, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Marcus. It's great to be here today. Appreciate you inviting me to be a part of your podcast journey, and appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to this conversation for a lot of different reasons. I mean, obviously, I think what you guys are doing at BlueZone Cyber is super interesting. But the coolest thing about this to me is that you're coming into this with with the background in the insurance space, and you've been in the seat of an insurance agency owner. I think you owned an agency for many years, and so I think it just makes this conversation just that much better. And so probably a good starting point, man. Just tell us maybe a little bit about your background in the insurance industry and how BlueZone Cyber came to fruition.
Great, sounds good. Yeah, as Marcus said, my name is Jay Fribourg, co-founder, chief revenue officer at BlueZone Cyber Solutions. We are a charity-driven business headquartered in Austin, Texas, but we're providing best-in-class cybersecurity services to insurance agencies and then also to their commercial insurance customers. Looking to get cyber insurance and that protection that they need. And best of all, we donate 10% of our profits to meaningful causes. So, but a little bit about my background in the insurance industry. I started out at my family insurance agency 20 years ago. Like a few of the listeners on the call may have been in the insurance industry for a long time, but I started there as an intern in college, filing folders in a long row of file cabinets. Doing data entry. And then after college, I became a personal lines producer. A few years later, my wife and I decided to move back to Austin, Texas, and we built an independent agency from the ground up. We had a lot of fun doing it. We had a huge Great Dane dog that was our mascot. We did a photo shoot in our office with the big dog sitting on my desk in front of cars and in front of the houses. And it was "Can the big dog save you money?" So maybe some people saw that out there. We had a really good business going. Some years down the line, we had a few injuries and a health scare, and just kind of really made us sit down and look at where we wanted to be long term. And we decided to to sell the agency. There's another job offer on the table as well, and we took some time off and we backpacked through Southeast Asia for 4 months, which was a very fun trip for having kiddos. Went to China and Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. And then, after working hard on an insurance agency and putting some blood, sweat, and tears into it, we went on a little vacation, but then we returned back to Austin. And I had a longtime friend that just called me out of the blue. Had just moved into Austin with a cybersecurity startup distributor, and had proposed, an offer for me to go over there and work. And when I looked into it, it was very similar to an insurance agency. You have new business, you have renewals, very similar customer management and networking side of it. So it piqued my industry interest. Obviously, cybersecurity is a hot industry, and so I jumped into it and went for it. Had a really good run, and fast forward down the line here, 6 years later, and COVID's going on. And my wife and I started having to travel again. Our office was closed, everybody was remote. So we ventured down to Costa Rica on what was going to be a 2-week vacation that turned into 2 years. Wow. And we just fell in love with it. So I actually split time between Costa Rica and Texas now. It was just no longer feasible for me to keep my corporate job in Texas whenever we reopened the office, and I was supposed to be in there 5 days a week. So at that time, we looked into this idea that I had in the past when I was working with customers and partners who were really focused on the large enterprise companies. And I saw there was a need in the market out there for the small business owners, especially in the insurance industry and these regulated industries that have a lot of customer data, and also the opportunity for some additional cyber training, for their employees. And so that's kind of what we based the business on. And now we've, myself and a past colleague of mine, our chief operating officer, Steve Delamore, in February of this year, we started BlueZone Cyber Solutions. So we are leveraging that large enterprise experience. We were doing over $1 billion annually in sales of software and hardware and managed services. So we're bringing that enterprise grade security down. We partnered with several of our past technology companies and made a really complete solution that's affordable And so now we're bringing that down for the insurance agents and for their commercial customers.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, that's where we're at now.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the backstory. And obviously with your history in the insurance space, I mean, it just really seems to put you guys in the best possible position to serve, the insurance industry from kind of a new perspective. So I've got a little bit of insider knowledge, so cheating a little bit here, but is there a connection between Costa Rica and the meaning of the name, the BlueZone Cyber name? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I really like our name, BlueZone, for a couple different reasons. And, it really embodies our commitment to cybersecurity because, one, in the cyber realm, you have a blue team and a red team. So we're on the blue team, which is protecting companies from malicious attacks. And then likewise, there are 5 blue zone regions in the world where people on average, or I should say there's a higher consistency of centenarians, people that are living over 100 years old. So a very healthy lifestyle. And we kind of combine that with our systems, right? That longevity and vitality that we bring to the table here to protect our customers, digital way of life.
Awesome.
That's
I
where the
love it.
name comes
Yeah,
from.
love the name. Yeah, and I'm glad you gave us that backstory on it too. I mean, that's personal passion of mine too, just kind of the health and nutrition. And we talked a little bit about that. So thinking about some of those areas that have that high population of centenarians, I think that's super awesome and definitely ties right into what you guys are bringing in terms of your solution. So Jay, I mean, kind of being a former insurance agency owner, thinking about BlueZone Cyber and the solutions you bring through your business, how does your background really impact your approach to conversations with insurance agency owners now about their own cybersecurity needs?
Yeah. My background in insurance, I'm very thankful to have that experience and have that knowledge that I, bring to the table. Like I said, I've worn all of the hats in the job roles at the agencies, from filing files to, adding some gray hairs to my beard hair here and transforming it to paperless. Yeah, in a digital way of life. I've spent late nights and weekends up scanning papers after papers into the system and managing it all in my customer management tool there. But I've mailed thousands of policies, all of that stuff. So I was also part of acquiring an agency. So, I got to experience that and had a good transition there. But, I regularly attended networking events like a lot of insurance agents do. And, I've just walked in their shoes. So I bring a wealth of sales and marketing experience. And, it's just really important to have, cybersecurity at the core of your agency. Not just at the surface level with some general antivirus on your computer. It protects your business from, not only potential threats and, business interruption and loss of income, stuff that can happen like that. But if you really, embrace cybersecurity and even market this as a tool to your customers, it can really help with some customer retention because they know that their data is safe. You can even use it on the front end for marketing, which is really big to, build that trust and confidence in the insurance industry. And so, I just feel like what we've got going on now really brings some good value to the table and help agencies be more profitable.
Yeah, absolutely. I can relate to the gray hairs thing too. I feel that here in the past few years. I feel like it's a lot more frequent now. My wife is pointing out, hey, you've got a new gray hair there in your beard. What's going on with that? I feel like probably the increase in cyber too, the threat there has grown tremendously. I mean, we've seen that in our own business, really since the pandemic started, and everything's gone, so remote as far as workforces. And so that's definitely been a contributing factor to the additional stress, but certainly can be mitigated, I think, by what you guys are doing. Curious to hear, and I think everyone would like to know a little bit more about this kind of, from you guys' seat, what are you seeing out there? I mean, what are maybe some of the more common cyber threats insurance agencies should be looking for based on what's going on so far in 23?
Yeah, I mean, the most common threats out there is, biggest thing is phishing attacks, right, that are coming in that your employees are experiencing. Whether that's coming through in, different emails or a text message to go buy Marcus in an important meeting, go buy some gift cards for him and, send it to my address kind of thing. There's all different stuff. And we actually have some custom trainings that we offer to the agencies to coach their employees on those realms. And so also, see a lot of ransomware out there in the market. They've got into your system and, you get that unfriendly notice on your computer that you need to actually pay a ransom to get back into your database and be able to run your business. and a lot that comes from behind the scenes with that. So, different attack vectors out there, from malware and viruses to just go in there and try and steal your data and disrupt operations.
Yeah.
So those are the most common attacks that we're seeing out there. It
Yeah.
really just boils down to, though, like, an agency needs to really focus on three key areas. You need to have proactive cybersecurity protection, cyber insurance, and then having the data recovery solutions. A lot of agencies out there have data recovery solutions, have cyber insurance, and feel like they're pretty protected and could get their systems back up and running, if they experience a cyber attack. But really, they need to, be knowledgeable about that front end part of it, the data breach side, and your customers, data that gets breached from there is where the real, financial losses come along with. You can have, financial losses from what you need to pay to recover from the breach, right? There's a forensic investigations that go into there. A lot of times when there's ransomware, you need a translator in another language. It happens to be in Russian a lot of the time, and only at specific hours of the day. So, having a contact on file that you can call, most people don't have that one sitting in their pocket, right? So different fines that are out there. So that's really where we help focus and come here and provide this complete solution, right? So they've got the front end and the cyber insurance, as well as the data recovery in place. We are seeing that for small businesses, every 39 seconds that there is a cyber attack occurring. And these industries like insurance, attackers do know that they've got customer data, and they don't necessarily have all the security measures in place that they need to have. So they are an easy target, and they can take that customer data and they can go out and sell it on the dark web and make money immediately from it.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy. I mean, it's like it's almost inevitable nowadays, right? I mean, if you're in business, I mean, at some point you're probably going to face some type of cybersecurity threat, some type of issue, whether it be large or small. But you look across, a lot of, we partner with a lot of small agencies across the nation. I would say probably half of or more of those, understand to some degree that there are, cyber threats out there that could impact their business, but they're not really doing anything proactive about it. But, we're all susceptible, right? And so, I mean, it's tough to think about being in a position, where you have a successful business, you're growing your company, things are going well, and you don't really have a resource for, kind of buttoning down this area of the business. And if something does happen, I mean, we've seen it in our own business. It's such a blessing to have, somebody like you guys in their corner. So if and when something does happen, you can respond quickly and take immediate action and kind of mitigate, the consequences. Something else kind of I wanted you guys to talk a little bit about. We had talked about this kind of in some prior conversations, and I thought it was super interesting and really cool because it's very in line with our approach here at HRO, right? We kind of approach everything as, wanting to simplify as much as possible, right? We want it to be easy for folks to do business with us, easy to understand our solution, easy to get set up with HRO. Like, we just want the process to be easy, right? We're in the business of making life simple, for the business owner so they can focus on their core business. And you guys have taken a similar approach, I think, in terms of offering packages, right? So you kind of have more of a packaged approach to your solution. So maybe tell us a little bit about the packages and maybe why the package approach. I mean, why did you guys decide to go that route?
Yeah, absolutely, Marcus. I mean, especially with small business, I 100% agree. Being that easy button, that's the core of our business, right? So completely from the soup to nuts, right? From the front to the very end, and helping out there. It's really challenging for a small business owner to go out there and find a good solution. If you're looking for cybersecurity, there's thousands of vendor options out there. It's very complex. There's a lot of technical jargon. And a lot of cost consideration. So you could easily buy an incomplete solution, spend way too much money, and learn the hard way. So we've really taken our experience and knowledge of the industry, and we've made these small business bundles. So we've got a couple of different options there, but we go in there, offer a complete solution to secure their online business, and then also we add a firewall to that, whether it's a physical one or virtually in the cloud. To secure their office and also all of that customer data online. And, not only that, but so we sell that easy one click button solution there. And then we have a team of senior engineers that do the installation. They do the daily management. And also they are on hand for if there is a cyber attack to help with rapid response and recovery.
That's
So.
awesome. And so just kind of thinking about the packages, I mean, do you feel like your background obviously being in the insurance space, I mean, owning businesses before, seeing these things firsthand, did that kind of play a factor and help you guys kind of understand, how to put those packages together in the best way?
Oh, absolutely. I've been involved with several small businesses and just really, but insurance agent today, put myself in their shoes, and it absolutely helped me. I would, if I was to go back in time there and I was starting out again, I would definitely have this complete online solution, and I would have a firewall in place to protect my business from the start. There's too big of a risk out there and financial loss that can literally put small business owners underwater, or even out of business, right? Um,
Absolutely.
if a cyber attack was to occur. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. And just kind of thinking along the lines of the pace at which things change nowadays, right? I mean, just looking at really 2020 till now. I mean, I think there's been so much change, so much advancement in technology just in that short period of time. And I think so much more of a dependency on technology, which I think has created obviously opportunities for you guys in your space to be able to come in and help out. But what do you guys do, or how do you kind of go about staying on top of things and kind of keeping up with, advances in technology, advances in kind of what's going on and what's trending in terms of cyber threats and that sort of thing?
Yeah. Out there in the market, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, staying on top of cyber threats. I mean, the biggest risk out there is, really adopting the AI and machine learning. So, not only at the surface level, but it's in the core of our product. So in our firewalls out there, because, in today's technology, I mean, there's just way too many attacks coming in, and the amount of them on a daily basis between your different nation states and organized crime syndicates and this thriving dark web. It's no human can even keep up with this, even if you have a room full of people. So that is actually built into the core of our product, that machine learning and AI capabilities. And that's the hot topic right now in the market, on being the best that you can in that spot. And then in addition to that, right, so, we just continual learning. We do go to conferences. Our engineers have all types of certifications, are definitely experts on these technologies. Majority of them have over 10 years with the specific vendors that we're offering. So, keeping up to date with those vendors and those relationships, and on top of all of these new threats that are on the market, constantly out there scanning and adding that information into, our ongoing threat intelligence.
Yeah, it's like a full-time position just trying to keep up with all that. That's
Absolutely.
absolutely. Well, so Jay, if you were to maybe go back into the insurance agency business, kind of thinking about this from the perspective of starting up a new agency with the knowledge that you know now, how would you maybe go about protecting your business, from a cybersecurity perspective from the initial setup?
Yeah, from the initial setup, I mean, I'd have the solution in place. I'd have the firewall, whether it's in my office or in the virtual cloud out there, to protect not only, myself and my customer data, but wherever my employees are. If they're at their house, they're at a coffee shop, they're out at the customer's office, showing that we're a secure company, marketing that, using it for its advantages, would be something that I would definitely have in my toolkit. Along with, saying, hey, I've got these top, preferred vendors, and I'm an agent with experience, right? So just like you go out there and coach your customers on, what they should be doing to, at their house or their business, to make sure that if they do have a claim that they're covered, doing that same role as an agent, showing that you're got that security in place, and that you're going to have that longevity as a business.
Awesome. That's great. I appreciate you sharing that. And then just kind of thinking, maybe leave us with a piece of advice. If you could leave us with maybe your best piece of advice, maybe some final words of wisdom that you'd like to leave, for our insurance agency partners, and might help them be better prepared to protect themselves in the areas of cyber.
Yeah. So one piece of advice that I always leave, because it's, 85% of attacks normally start in this manner, with somebody being able to get into your system, really is just for your team as a whole, adopting a culture of cybersecurity within your organization. Knowing that you take it seriously, that as the owner, you're taking the responsibility to protect your customers' data, but that it's also a team effort, right? you need your employees out there when they see those malicious, these weird looking links come through email, or email addresses that, don't look correct, or, they get a text message on their phone, that they're reporting that back to the organization, right? And to us as we're managing their platform. And because, those are just ways that we can monitor that, shut things down very early from getting into your system, any malware. And really just, encouraging your employees, like, hey, even if you did click on that or accidentally do something, let us know now. So if it just take the minor embarrassment, right, and not wait till it actually, hits the news out there, and then have a major problem on our hands. So just that, the customer, the culture within your organization, and then just knowing like cybersecurity is not just a one-time effort where we can come in, install this stuff, and you're protected forever, right? It's an ongoing effort, and it takes our teams working together in a good partnership across the board to go out there and protect your company.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think you nailed it. I mean, I was thinking about this earlier in the conversation. I feel like in so many cases, like maybe the business owner, or the agency owner in this case, I mean, maybe as an individual, they're thinking about these things, and they're very careful and paying attention to the things that they click and the sites that they visit and things they open, or protecting information as they're sharing. But, not everybody operates in that same way, right? And if you've got a team and you've got employees and, other folks working for you, I mean, how do you go about, making sure that they have that same mindset and they're thinking along the same lines? I mean, I think you're right. I think it really is kind of a culture thing, right? It comes back to, your core beliefs as a company and how you operate on a daily basis. And I think you're right. Just that consistency and being able to, drive the important. I mean, we work on that in our own company, right? And I'm not the best at it, I'll admit, but fortunately, we've got a few folks on our team who are, always thinking about these things and reminding us to, hey, make sure you're encrypting this email if you're sending this information, or, having somebody like you guys that are, running tests and things like that too. I think from a phishing perspective, I think all those things are super important. But oh, man, I appreciate it. I mean, I think this has been good, and I think, definitely enlightening for me, just to kind of learn from you and your wisdom, and hopefully, our audience, I'm sure, will feel the same and be able to take some of these pieces of advice and kind of put things into action to benefit their own business. Anything else you'd like to leave us with today, Jay?
Yeah, I just also, I mentioned before that we're a charity-driven company, right? So we are very passionate about, we donate 10% of our profits back to charity. So, all the way from the front end, promoting these organizations, and we want to work with good people out there. So we really are in this new wave of businesses, right, that beyond the bottom line want to say, hey, we are committed to giving this much back to charity and making a difference and impact in the world. We focus mainly on children's education. We have opportunities, to go in there and set up a computer lab, provide some computers if they need electricity, these type of items. And also children's health is very top of our mind that we're invested in, but there's a couple of the examples. So that's, we just hope that people will, the more customers, that we can go out here and grow this company, the bigger impact that we can make. And so by working with us, you can really do your part to, fight back in this cybersecurity war, and also make an impact in your community. And, we would just look forward to getting to know your listeners and more agencies out here as we grow BlueZone. So we just really appreciate the opportunity to be on today. We do have also an exciting insurance agency referral reward program in place. So do encourage you to go out there and check out our website at bluezonecyber.com. We've got the information on that program out there, and look forward to talking with you. Really just not only want to be your trusted security partner, we want to be your friend, and then be your digital shield out there in the market. Awesome.
Thanks a lot, Jay. I appreciate it, man. And yeah, I love that, what you guys are doing with charity. Not that we needed another reason to see the value you guys are bringing, but I think that's amazing that you guys are doing that. And it says a lot about the type of people that are there at BlueZone Cyber and the type of folks that you guys are. So I love that. I appreciate you sharing. That's going to do it for us today on the Broker Collective podcast. Jay, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to spend with us. Excited to continue following your success and what you guys are doing there at BlueZone Cyber. Everyone, please make sure to stay connected with us. You can find Broker Collective on Facebook, Make sure to join our group of growth focused insurance brokers there, also on LinkedIn and YouTube. And as always, you can learn more about how to partner with HRO and the Broker Collective at brokercollective.xyz. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.